Okay, so you signed in to Jira and you're logged in, and I don't even know, I'm always signed in. I don't even know where you actually end up, but to get to this page right now, you're just gonna go onto the lovely little Jira icon, select that, and that's just gonna show our team. And you can see all the tickets that are assigned and how many tickets are assigned to each person. So I'm just gonna go into myself, or yeah, I'm gonna go into myself. I'm gonna open it up as a new tab because it's handy to have that open, and then you're just going to see the tickets that you've been assigned, and if you have been assigned something, you can log your time to it. I'll talk about tempo in a minute, but basically these are the kind of the ticket numbers, and that's how you log your time towards the ticket number. So this is actually a ticket that has been also created from our support inbox, so that's a little confusing. Whenever a email comes into our inbox, it also gets a ticket gets created for it. So whenever I reply to the customer, I then include this number in the email so that we can track and see how much time has been spent and everything. So yeah, so if this is over and done with, which I actually think it has been, I'm gonna close it. I'm finished. I'm done. It's null. So I'm just gonna pick the resolution, which is fixed, or you could change to done actually because it was done. I'm just going to go into this back to the lovely side here as well, and here's your search. So you can search all your tickets, and then you can also go to, so you could search by project and stuff like that. But if you scroll down a bit, you can see boards, filters, dashboards. So there's basically a board for every project, and then there's the all board, which shows every project in one, which I usually use. I go by all board, not just by the project board. So if you select the all board, and you then, it's going to show this view. I think it usually gives the result view of this right now, which is actually quite confusing to get around. So I use this backlog view. So that was just on the left hand side, and then it just gives a long list of all the projects, and you can just shorten them and stuff. But you would mostly be working with company tickets, so you could start logging your time to different, like here's your team meeting one and different things like that. So I'll just go through how to add a ticket for yourself. You would do that, let's say you were doing something that Mike asked you to do and you need to log your time correctly. That is how, so you'd click your plus, you'd select the project, which is Idea Bubble, not Engine, it's company. You would then select your issue type, which is it could be admin or it could be just a task. Don't worry too much about it. Add a bit of a summary to it. The sprint would be leave that blank. Account though would be Idea Bubble or company, and then just assign it to yourself. So you've created a ticket on yourself, and then just add a bit of a description and save. And that's just adding a ticket. It's just your compartmentalizing tickets. And then the other thing which I think you'll use a lot more is Confluence, which we call Wiki, aka Wiki. So to get to it, you just go here, down here, quite like Drive the way, or Google, the way they have their little icon up top on the top right. This is down on the bottom left, but you can switch to Confluence. So that is your whole wiki management and adding documents and different stuff like that. So this is just going into the spaces. So we have product space, which is like our educate product or marine product, all those things, all the documentation for that. It's not public, it's just private. So only company members can access it. So yeah, you can see them all along the side. The next space we'll go into is then public documentation. I've been putting all the items like user guides and stuff into that because that is public. Anyone in the public can see it, and then I can send those links to the customers, which is really handy to show them how to use the system and stuff. But it's quite like Jira. You can search it, you can check out recent spaces, that kind of thing. Yeah, kind of to get to your kind of dashboard, again, it's just clicking this little icon here, and you can then navigate through spaces. I actually created a marketing space for you. I think it's in company. So you can create a whole load of other pages off it. Is it here? I created a whole space called marketing. And how I actually got there was I just searched it. I couldn't find it because sometimes it's really hard to navigate around it. So you're just playing with it mostly. But it's not in public documentation. It's in the space marketing. You can just see it underneath. And then off of this, you're just going to create pages off of it. You can get, there's loads of really cool stuff you can do with Wiki and the Confluence, but just get used to adding pages. So all I'm doing is going to select C. It's just a quick way. C, and then you can either do a blank page or a feature requirement. You can even do meeting notes, you know. So let's say you and Mike did a meeting. It has a really nice layout. You can just take notes the whole way through and fill it all in. It kind of gives some nice headings and stuff like that and makes it easier for you guys. So it has the date, it has who the attendees were, your discussions, your action items. You can do an at Michael and he'll get an email. And then once he'll get an email that he has a to-do or his name has been mentioned, and then he just selects it whenever he's done. So then it's kind of, instead of just using Slack and waiting for him to reply that way, he can kind of get through a few things, and you're not chasing him as much. Whenever you're creating a page, you have to publish it. After, like, you could create it for ages and leave it sitting there and no one will see it, and then you just select publish or delete it. So I'm just going to delete that one. I think this covers a lot of Confluence and Wiki and stuff like that. It has really cool filters and things like that, but just get used to adding pages. And that's it. Oh, also something I didn't mention is in your tickets, you can throw them across to people. So like this one, I might have done the work I need to do and I'm just going to assign it back onto Mike or Tempe. You're just moving it like this and you're just typing their name and it's going to come up as a selection. And then the other thing you might want is to open up a Slack room about this ticket number. So you only want to discuss the create, educate, meets team layout. You know, you only want to talk about that in it. You just create channel. You just create it. It's the Slack integration. And then you can say, hey, Mike, will I reassign the ticket to you? That kind of thing. You can also then, yeah, log in your time. I think you know how to log your time, but I'll just quickly show you. So you're going to just go down to tempo and you're going to say my work. Sorry, this is so long. I feel like I'm going around in circles a little bit, but you're just going to select your log time. Obviously pop in your ticket number, give it a little bit of a synopsis, and then the time worked. And department account, is it internal, is it marketing? If you can't find a department account that doesn't apply to you, tell Tempe and she'll create one for you. Just again, it's compartmentalizing everything. I use, actually, it's a little, if you're interested, if you start logging your time, like timing yourself, you can install Tempo into your Google. Just search it in the Google store, Tempo, and it'll integrate here, and basically it just starts timing and it's a quicker view. But you probably log your time after you've actually completed something. I don't really know. I use anyway the timer because I'm working here all day, so I have to log loads of time. I think that's it. Obviously, ask me any questions. I probably left out loads, but I think they're the basics that you need to know, and just basically playing around with it is the easiest. That's how I learned.